inspire the audience with an 8 to 10-minute speech. Thor's speech, what comes around goes around, what comes around goes around, Thor goes. Everybody here wants to improve. We want to get better. We want to realize our potential. Tonight, I'm going to help fulfill that destiny, to live fuller, happier, healthier lives. And it's not going to be that difficult, and you'll get to see results right away. What is it I'm talking about? Karma. Many of you are familiar with the term, and tonight I'm going to talk about the history of karma and what it is, give some examples of karma, and talk about the importance of resolving past karma. Karma is a relatively new term to the West. It came over in the 50s with the Beat Generation and Jack Kerouac, but it's actually one of the oldest concepts and one of the oldest cultures in the world, that is Hinduism. Literally translated, karma means action. But I think it's more helpful to think of karma as memory. Every action or thought we have creates memory. And over our lifetimes, we accumulate all this memory or karma. Some of it's good, some of it's bad. Negative karma will return again and again until it is resolved. There are certain phrases we have for karma in the West. You reap what you sow. You get what you give. Does anyone else have any phrases you can think of for karma?
What goes around comes around.
What goes around comes around. That's a good one. Has it? Go ahead.
Don't shit where you eat.
Yeah, that could come in handy. And has anyone heard of the boomerang effect? It was kind of a new term for me as well, but I think it's an appropriate description of karma. And it's basically what you throw out into the world comes back to you. And if you're throwing out positive energy to the world, positive energy comes back to you. If you're throwing out negative energy comes back to you. Now, karma is not just actions, it's also thoughts. So it's important to be mindful of our thoughts. Negative thoughts include jealousy, anger, resentment, thoughts of ill will towards others. But karma is not a religious law, and it's not a moral law. It's a natural law, like Newton's laws of motion. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And no one is immune from these natural laws. It's also not fate. Fate is fixed. Karma is cumulative memory. And it can be changed. You can change your karma. Now let's talk about examples of karma. Are any of you familiar with the TV show My Name is Earl? It's a pretty funny comedy. It's set in rural America. The main character, Earl, was a petty thief, committing harmful deeds most of his life. Until one day he won the lottery, and then bam! He's hit by a car and loses his ticket. And while he's in the hospital, he has an epiphany and a vision, and he sees his life and sees all the harmful things he's done and makes a decision to make amends to those people. After his first good deed, he miraculously finds that lottery ticket. And he decides to use that money to continue on his quest to make amends with the people he's harmed. For me personally, some examples of karma that come to mind are a time at the grocery store when I was walking my cart out to the truck. I load up my truck. I think, oh, should I put this cart away? No, I'll just leave it here. And I get in my car and drive away. And I leave an expensive hair product on the top of that cart. And I'm pretty sure if I would have walked it over to the little line, I would have seen that. And to me, that was an example of karma. Another time was a time I was in a major fight or feud with a neighbor. It's a few years back, and I was consumed with negative energy and thoughts towards this person. And I went up on my roof to do some work, and I dislocated my shoulder going up to the roof. And at that time, I was totally having negative thoughts. And I believe that those thoughts had something to do with that injury. Now let's talk about unresolved karma. Like I mentioned earlier, negative karma will come back again and again until it is resolved. So it's important that we go back and heal some of that negative karma. Suffering is the world's way of telling us something is wrong. It's an invitation to evolve. When we go back and look at this unresolved karma, we have to do so objectively. In fact, many times we're so consumed with ourselves that it's hard to see our part in a situation. And it may require a trusted friend or a therapist to help you see your part in the situation. One way to go about healing this karma is to make a list of all the people we've harmed. Make a list of all the things we've stolen. And make a list of all the resentments we have with people. With the resentments, let's say somebody hurt us 10 times and we hurt them 5 times. But we're carrying a resentment towards this person. I think we all have those ongoing resentments that we carry towards people, either a family member or an institution or an old teacher. Well, what we can do to heal that karma is to look at our part in the situation. Typically, there's something we did that hurt that other person, even if it was in retaliation. What you can do is prepare yourself and make an apology to that person. Don't expect an apology from them for what they did. All you're doing is cleaning your side of the street so you can have a clear conscience. Items that you stole. For me, I've gone back. I stole out of my mom's purse when I was a kid. I actually sent my mom money and I apologized for what I did. I also stole meat from a grocery store as a teenager. And I put a cashier's check together and sent it to the store to help heal some of that unresolved karma. I tracked down that neighbor who I had that feud with and apologized for my actions. And now when I see this person driving around, instead of having fear or anger when I see them, I can wave and I don't have to feel anything. And that's part of resolving that past karma.